Yo. Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of Fourth and Goal. I am your host with the most, Patty Pitts, and sitting across from me in the yard of streams, that's right, it is the best of the West. You cannot forget about Sarah Marshall. And then we got our own virtual celebrity in the booth tonight. It is the Underground PGA Tour 2K edition member, Steve Schneider, the Rundown Man. How we doing, guys? How we doing?
Hi, guys. I'm back. Feeling pretty good. Ready to talk about how my fantasy teams are still somehow alive, but we'll leave that for a little bit later on. So,
I wish I could say the same.
Are you out and all? Are you? How we doing?
Are we gonna pretend like you don't know? But
I'm gonna pretend like I know nothing.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I'm out in all three. So,
fantastic!
Just living the dream, as a fantasy expert, and enjoying losing. I feel like that's my new calling.
Yeah. No. I mean, I've been part of that for quite some time now. It feels like in certain leagues where it just seems like you can't get over the hump. But in another league, I'm kind of killing it, even with Derrick Henry being out, which is crazy.
Isn't that nice?
It's you know what? When you're in 14 leagues, the odds at some point are going to be in your favor, and I'm just playing the numbers, baby.
That's what I feel like. I need to do that next year. I just need to join so many leagues that if I start losing in half of them, I just don't care anymore. Now that I have 3 and I'm losing, well, okay, I'm at 501, and then in one of them I'm 5-7, and then we know my other one. I'm currently waiting for a win. So yeah, I think I should just yeah, for those who don't know, I joined a league, or I made a league late in the season, week 6, and I am currently 0-6. So
but like the times have been had. Here's the thing with that is you did something which a lot of people try to do and benefit from, and 98% of the time that works, but you're never nothing's ever perfect. So you think that you're going to have a better start, but the NFL, more than usual, I would say this year, kind of just slapped you across the face with that lineup, because there's a lot of star power, but the problem is that they're not on the field, not in the real league.
Most of them are sitting in the injury tent or sitting at home.
And my issue's been, I mean, I'm not defending myself completely because obviously I haven't won at all. So obviously there's some sort of issue there. But I have had by far the most points scored against me by 50 points. So
yeah, that's never fun.
It's a struggle.
We talked about that last week. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was just like, someone's got to bite the bullet and be that kind of sacrificial lamb. And it just sucks when it's your turn. That's kind of what. Yeah.
Well, now I'm just embracing it, embrace the suck. So
embrace the suck.
That's what I'm doing.
Embracing the suck.
That's what I think a motto of everyone should be, is just embrace the suck, because it's going to happen. You just gotta, deal with it one way or another, basically. Which stinks. But you know what doesn't stink is that we have football on tonight. We have Thursday night football. It's not a terrible matchup either, depending on who you ask. I don't think it's horrible, so that's a start. Do you guys agree? How are thoughts going into tonight's game?
We'll start off. The only thing I can hope for on my end is something like the Cowboys getting absolutely annihilated, like what they did to the Falcons, essentially. Just happens to them, but I highly doubt it at this point because the Saints aren't really that good. So,
yeah. I feel like on paper, if you talked about this at the beginning of the year, this looks like a really good matchup, but this week is kind of unpredictable. You don't know what team you're going to get from either of them. The Cowboys were completely dominant for majority of the season, and then the last couple weeks, it's been very iffy. The Saints started out strong, and then obviously Jameis Winston got hurt, and they've had a ton of injuries on their offense specifically. I think that they're going with Taysom Hill this week, I think. So that changes things up a little bit. I don't know if that really helps them at all, but Yeah, it's kind of uncertain. I mean, Amari Cooper is back, CeeDee Lamb is back, so that definitely helps the Cowboys. If they can take advantage of that, then I see this probably being a possible domination by the Cowboys.
I was gonna say, because I know they've been having their COVID issues, and imagine that they're back now, so that should be all out. But I know, is Zeke starting or no?
I think he's playing, but I think that they were saying they were going to give him like some sort of break. Like he's not going to be the top back of the game.
Okay,
unless that's changed. They were trying to give him like the veteran rest. So I think he's still active for the game. It just depends on how much they're actually going to use him.
Okay.
Yeah, this screams Tony Pollard game to me. I don't know. Tony Pollard is one of those running backs who I tell people in August to draft in their fantasy drafts, and not as just like a 15th, hey, here's the guy that no one's heard of. No, like a legitimate flex option, because even when Zeke's playing, the Cowboys utilize Tony Pollard to a point where he may not be the most fantasy relevant player, but he may do better than some, running back ones, wide receiver ones, and especially the only issue tonight with him that he's going to run into is that dominant defensive line led by Cam Jordan, who that worries me in a way. But honestly, the Saints as a whole don't. So I'm leaning more towards this being a Cowboys. I don't want to say slaughter by any means, but they'll win by a couple tutties. I for sure think that.
I'll raise you the counterpoint of this is the Cowboys' strength really has always been their offensive line anyway. So if they neutralize that defensive line, you saw what Philly did to that, and they ran all over the map on them. So if their offensive line is working tonight, Tony Pollard is going to get a lot of juice tonight.
Oh yeah, no, and honestly, I mean, we could do a little bit of this or that right now. Let's do. You know what? We're gonna do something fun now that we have 3 people here. It's a lot of fun. I need fun today, and I know someone who's probably not watching definitely needs some fun today as well. So let's do that with the hear me out question of the day. So hear me out. That's right. Hear me out's back. What? We're hear me out question of the day, brought to you by our friends at Pickup. They're amazing, and they're even not only sponsoring this show, which you are watching now or listening to on your Apple product, but we also got our Thursday night stream, which will be right after we record, where we sit and are going to actually watch this game, give our thoughts, and maybe answer a few prop bets here or there. And the prop bets will be from playpickup.com. All you got to do is go there, make an account by putting in your phone number. Then you got to get some numbers, put in your confirmation code, and you're all set to make as many props as you want and gain as many tokens that can be turned into prizes. So go to playpickup.com right now and even follow them on Twitter at PickupHQ to know what those props are and to know when to play them. So pick up, go grab your phone or tablet and pick up today. Okay, so my question that I had is, because we're talking about Tony Pollard here and how he's weirdly valuable, let's also discuss a couple other weirdly valuable players heading into this week. Let's start with Devonta Freeman or Tony Pollard. Who will we start?
Tony Pollard.
Yeah. Not with, well, and that, yes, I would do that. Oh, my cat is okay.
What's popping? Hey, kitty.
I swear she knows when I'm doing something. That's when she decides that it's like, yeah,
she wants the light. She wants attention. There it is. Because I said the name. She wants the attention. What's popping? What's the name?
Yeah. Okay. Her name's Remy.
Remy. Oh, Remdog. Well, okay.
Anyway, with Lamar as your quarterback, it's kind of always risky to start a running back. So, I mean, and Devontae hasn't done like a whole lot so far. He's had like 1 or 2 good games as far as fantasy goes. And after what the Ravens did last week, I would assume that Lamar is going to be like, golly, Remy, like kind of trying to have a bounce back week. So, we know Lamar carries that team on his back 90% of the time. So, with Zeke possibly taking a back seat, I would go with Pollard.
Now, real quick, who are the Ravens playing this week? Just so I have an idea.
Are playing Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, divisional game 2. Yeah, give me Pollard. I think Pollard's gonna have a monster night tonight.
Ooh,
really, really do. That's not me saying that because I own him in one of my leagues. I'm saying that because I think the Cowboys are actually going to rip the Saints apart tonight.
Hopefully. I mean, I can't believe I'm hearing that from an Eagles fan. But you know what?
Sometimes you can't deny the truth, Pat Pitts.
Hey, the truth hurts.
That's what I was just going to say, too.
Yeah,
the truth hurts, and Philly knows how to hurt.
Breaking news, Eagles fans say that Eagles suck.
Yeah,
shocks the world.
But and the thing is too is I would love to bash on the Saints just because anytime there's a chance to bash on a team with no like legitimate quarterback is kind of an open target, open season. But like the Saints are good though. Like that's what kind of makes me a little skeptical with this. Obviously, I'd start Tony Pollard over Devonta Freeman just because of the consistency alone. But let's look at another guy that I have on one of my 4,000 teams. First one. All right. So Tony Pollard or Cordell Patterson.
Is there a both option we can smash here?
Yeah.
Is there a both where you can just throw Tony Pollard? Yeah. Wait, here we go.
Do you want it? Do we want to bring the snap back?
If you have no idea what we're talking about, go check out the Get in the Hole podcast.
Oh my Lord. I'm not going to actually do it because I think I scared the shit out of my dad last night. Holy. Sorry, you need to go check that out after this, by the way, because that was because the look on your face just was like, what are you
I was just like, what's happening? And my cat decided to take rest on my lap. So
we got a cat, we got a Thor hammer.
Yes.
And who do we have as a flex option? We got everything, kids.
We have those things. Who's our flex option?
Between those two?
Because I mean, I would say you're not starting them as one of the
I'll go with Pollard.
Actually, you would.
Option.
Okay.
I'm starting Patterson as one of my top. What do you mean?
No, like when you can't start both of them. I'm saying as your running back, you're gonna have a top person there, so you're gonna play at least one or
I mean, I'm playing Patterson. That's a little bit more of a tough game because it is a divisional game against the Bucks. But I think you kind of know what to expect from Patterson, so I'm going to go with Patterson.
All right. Yeah, Steve?
What she said. Honestly, I'm not even going to beat around the bush here. It's December. The Bucks are probably about to come alive because, Tom Brady's running the ship. So I would imagine that the Bucks are going to want to come into this game and play hard, especially given the last couple weeks. So I would imagine that. Now, I mean, but Cordell's going to be playing probably all three positions this week. I don't know if you saw that, Pat.
Yeah, dude, you see? Yeah, that's friggin'
crazy. I love him. I wish the Patriots never got rid of him, but
me either. I don't know. The biggest utility player. He's like a Brock Holt of sorts. Look at that reference. Even though there's no MLB, there's always an MLB in my head. And then my final person before we get into this, because you brought up the Bucks, so immediately he's in my starts. Leonard Fournette or Tony Pollard this week.
You just throwing out all my running backs that I have, don't you?
I just can see into the future.
No, but
I don't know. That's a tricky one because Fournette is the main guy in Tampa too. So oh my goodness, this cat is gonna be the death of me. Sorry, I don't mean to. She just will not leave me alone.
Hey, that's the beauty of live things, streams, television.
Anyway,
whatever. Roll with it. Who are you rolling with then? Oh, see, connection.
And that's like they're against each other this week too.
Yeah.
I would pick Patterson.
All right.
I think I'm gonna go with Patterson, and then
there's too much good on offense in the Bucks for them to solely rely on Fournette, whereas if you're looking at Atlanta, it's like Patterson and Kyle Pitts. So
yeah, okay.
Shout out the
That's a good
Pitts.
way. Dude, Pitts just know how to get it done. That's our motto there. Hopefully everyone else can get it done this week. But if you do not really have a clue where to start, or you just need some help in your lineup or picks, we're here to help you with that this week. We got our week 13 slate of games right here for you. And we're gonna just start out right with it. Game tonight, we already kind of talked about it, so I'm not gonna go back into that. But let's talk about my favorite team that I'm not wearing right now. The Detroit Lions look for their first win of the season against the Minnesota Vikings as they host them. They're 7-point underdogs.
That's it?
Well, okay.
I mean...
All right.
I mean, I have the Vikings winning. I have their defense this week. So I've been hopeful for the Lions in several games, and they've just let me down every single time. And now they just lost DeAndre Swift. So it's like I just have no more faith.
They are destined for 0-16-1 right now.
That's why I'm saying like they need to cleanse that facility. There is a haunting there.
They need to change owners. Let's just not beat around the bush. They need to change owners.
Yeah, there's some sort of bad aura there where they're just destined to suck. They're embracing the suck, as we say.
Maybe it's been for a little too long.
They've been embracing the suck for 50 years. I mean,
yeah, dude.
That's their team motto, though. So
yeah. It always fascinates me, right? That's like, how do you operate a franchise and waste away two of probably the best players of all time in their positions, and just completely rot them to the point of they don't even want to. They'd rather retire than go play for another team. Yeah. How do you let that happen?
Don't get me started, dude. Don't get me started. I am so sad. And I'm not kidding you. After on Thanksgiving, I had all the hope in the world that they were just gonna squeak out a win, maybe a Thanksgiving Day miracle. Someone didn't pull, but apparently it looks like someone on the Bears team pulled the wishbone because they got just the biggest win pulled out of their ass that I've ever seen. And I think this week though, I think they can do it because I don't know what it is, but the Vikings, they're a team. We talked about this. They're also cursed. And if there was a team to lose to a team like the Lions, it would be the Vikings this week, especially with everything going on. I don't know. I feel like Jamal Williams goes off this week in DeAndre Swift's absence. Jared Goff finally has a reliable target in Josh Reynolds, and that was proven on the first play of Thanksgiving. That's about it. Or first drive, on Thanksgiving. That's about it. But we're going to see a lot of that this week, and I'm going to say if they don't win, they'll at least cover. They'll at least cover. 7 to the Vikings is a lot.
I'm just hopeful that Madison will get me a lot of points because I was able to pick him up, and I need running back points because my running backs keep getting injured. It's very rude.
You're not alone on that.
Seems to be a disturbing trend this year.
ACLs is what's really sad. Like, I think that they set a record this year with how many ACL tears there have been.
Really?
Yeah. I saw a tweet like that like 2 weeks ago or something. They already like beat last year's totals. I mean, look at the Ravens in general. How many ACL tears did they have even before the season started? It's like insane.
Yeah.
5, pretty sure.
Yeah, in like all their running backs
tore his ACL. It was just we're sitting there just laughing in the at the $100 draft league because the guy literally picked him 4 minutes before he tore his ACL. I'm like,
no way.
Awful. That's awful.
That's so sad. Oh, that's terrible. Hopefully we don't get any more terrible news this week because I can't deal with it anymore. Okay, the Lions need a win. Then they need to not get the number 1 pick so they're not tempted by this horrible QB class and actually pick an edge rusher because that's what they need most. So that's what we think about that game. And then the Bears, we just kind of a little tease the Bears a little bit with the Thanksgiving Day game. They host the Arizona Cardinals fresh off a bye week. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think +8 is a gift to the Bears.
It's
I
not
have a feeling
enough.
that the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals are gonna steamroll over them, and
Is
it's not
Kyler
gonna be due to their
playing?
defense. Kyler and D Hop are both playing.
Oh, okay. Well, it will be interesting to see. I mean, obviously that looks like they're going to completely dominate, but we also have to remember how long both of them have been out, and it's not always, you come back from being out for several weeks from injury and then come back and go right back to how you were playing before. This could be a weird game for them. I mean, I assume that they're going to win, the Cardinals, but I don't know about how well those two will do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're safe to go with if you want, but
exactly.
I mean, you don't sit them,
No, for sure. And Sarah, you abruptly left the last episode because of internet issues. We're gonna have the opposite happen now and keep adding people now. DJ, our lacrosse guy from Underground Sports on Outside the Box. He's a Packers fan, ladies and gentlemen, from the Detroit area. And I have the Packers game on right now, DJ, actually, in your honor, because I want to just watch them
I
play the
appreciate
Rams
that.
again. And we are actually just getting into some nice NFC North chit chat. We started out with the two cursed franchises in the entire league with the Vikings and Lions. We'll just ask you a quick one to say.
Are the Vikings really cursed, or are they just
no? They're absolutely cursed. Franchise, not even close. Don't make me write that blog. I will do it.
I mean, you might have to, because I'm
going to have to.
Not even just Packers bias, but like the Vikings haven't had a good team since maybe when Randy Moss was there, and that might be like the best team they've ever had.
All right. Well, maybe the AP days.
So like, when were they going to win anything?
Well, wasn't Christian Ponder decent? I don't know. That was just AP leading the charge. So we were talking Vikes, Lions, and to just keep you up to speed and stay on track with the other team in the Bears, +7 Lions are your underdogs. Would you at least take the spread in that game?
I would take the Lions to cover the spread. I would.
Okay,
I think they lose by 7 or less, but I think they still lose.
Yeah, that's if they're gonna lose in like the worst fashion, and it's gonna be by at least one possession. Bears.
That's the only way Lions lose. They lose.
That's the only way Lions or Vikings fans know how to win or lose is just through absolute heart-wrenching performances. The Bears, on the other hand, just know all about losing, except on holidays. They are hosting the Cardinals. What are our thoughts? Sarah gave hers. DJ, we'll start with you since you came in here.
To be honest, kind of intrigued for this game. Arizona's kind of been struggling the last couple of weeks, with Kyler Murray in and out, and injuries with DeAndre Hopkins, JJ Watt, etc. So the Bears could steal one if veteran Andy Dalton starts again. I mean, he looked good last week throwing the ball. He's got a couple nice receivers, even though he doesn't have Allen Robinson. But Darnell Mooney stepped up big. So I mean, he's got options, and they could play well, but I mean, the Arizona secondary is really good, so I'm still going to take Arizona to win. I mean, they have James Conner, who's been tearing through defenses all year, so they'll probably lean on him heavy again.
Yeah, is he still lead the league in touchdowns? Last time I checked, he did, at least in rushing.
As far as I know, he's leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
they had a bye.
The vulture.
I think they had a bye week last week. Yeah. So he might have lost the crown to someone last week, but I don't think so.
All right, Steve, what are we thinking? Are we agreeing? Or
I'm going to agree. I think the Bears look decent against the Lions, but also they had to pull major shenanigans out to actually win that game. So I'll go with the Arizona covering the spread. I think they'll win by like 10.
Yeah, we're all gonna just hammer the Viking. The Arizona in that one, because there's no way, in my opinion. I mean, I think the Bears at least make it a game with Andy Dalton. I think if it was Justin Fields, we'd be talking about it a little differently. But Yeah, Andy Dalton gives us a little bit of intrigue. If they're going to win, it's going to be another kind of Thanksgiving type of win. But the Cardinals is just too filthy at this point. Anyone you're not starting in this game, anyone can jump in.
I don't think I really have anybody from either team on this game.
I only have Mooney, and I'm starting
Oh,
him.
no, I have Rondale Moore in this game from Arizona. Just as like a last-ditch pickup because everybody else has been taken. So I need somebody, and he's been okay. I mean, I'm only really starting him because I have like a ton of people on bye in the one league. So, yeah, that's what I'm working with here.
Yeah, Rondale Moore is a big like super flex league pickup.
Yeah.
Like he'll do well in a super flex spot, but other than that, not a good pickup. Darnell Mooney it's a question mark. It depends on how good your team is. If you have other receivers that you can play, go with them. But if you need a guy to put in your flex or you need a receiver, Darnell Mooney he's going to be the number one receiving target on Sunday. So he definitely is a quality option.
My pick for this game is actually Christian. Is Christian Kirk playing? He'll be in. He's actually been.
Let's check.
Yeah, I have to double check that, but I mean,
he's
Christian
your
Kirk
choice, and you don't even know if he's playing.
No, because here's the thing. I know like in my heart, I'm like he is. No way. But like, remember last week, or I was literally watching NFL Network all day, and you said, "Oh, TJ Watt's out on COVID," and I was staring at the screen all day. Yeah. Didn't see that once. Mm-hmm. So I really have to double check everywhere, even with the amount of screens I have in front of me. I can still miss stuff apparently. So I just don't apparently.
Apparently.
That kid is off. I am gonna hammer.
It's not his favorite word anymore, but that's okay.
What is?
I don't know. He moved on to a different word. I don't know.
Well, that's what happens.
He's also probably like 15 now, so.
Oh, he's got a lot of favorite words at that point.
Yeah.
What's our status?
And it's hard to go with Arizona receivers this weekend because they're probably still playing with Colt McCoy, who I mean is not terrible. But
no, Kyler's playing.
Is he playing this week? Because he's been out the past 3, so
he's practiced. I know for a fact he's practiced this week. It has been a little limited, but I think he'll be playing on Sunday.
Okay, they have him limited. They said his status won't be confirmed before hour and a half before game. So
because that's what they do. What they do.
That's another one of those players that you might want to throw in a flex if you have a Arizona receiver. Because if Colt McCoy goes in, you might want to switch it out. So. Just pay attention to that.
Here's our biggest spread so far. Falcons Bucks. We kind of teased it already with our hear me out question. We got Cordell Patterson. We could start Leonard Fournette, Lenny 4 scores. But then TB12, I think, is the person that I'm going to highlight in this one because I think TB12 is going to go off this week. What's this face for? What are we doing?
Why are we highlighting TB12? TB12 is
first off.
It's an unannounced highlight.
We are.
It's an unannounced highlight. You don't have to highlight TB12. TB12.
But I'm gonna highlight him as I would say the top guy this week in this matchup. He carves the Falcons up like a Thanksgiving dinner every time he plays them. And even in Tampa,
these are facts though.
And even in Tampa, he's got more weapons and. I mean, even with AB being suspended now for 3 games, oh, great. He's got Slotty Miller there you can throw to. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk is back.
There we go.
I knew I saw it.
Excuse me, listing him
sorry,
last.
I was getting one. And then you have the other tight ends who really are nameless at this point. So when it comes to the Falcons, I'm just not sold on it. I think I'm pretty sure I said to sit Russell Gage this week because I mean, who knows who the Falcons wide receiver one is?
The Falcons is Cordell Patterson this week, maybe Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, like I said, unannounced TB12, but Cordell Patterson is definitely the go-to this week.
You mean you don't want to highlight TB12?
What, you don't want to highlight TB12?
Oh, okay.
I don't. It's just it's TB12. You don't have to highlight him. He's a QB1 every week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who he plays. You play Tom Brady at QB1. you don't have to announce that. Everybody's gonna do it.
I'm going to. It's like walking in a room and being like, "I'm here." Like you don't have to announce it, but I do anyways because I'm an asshole. Like it's what happens. And the spread is it's 11-point favorites for the Bucks. That too much? I think I'm always
not enough.
finicky.
Not enough.
I'm always weirded out by double-digit point favors in the NFL at least. Because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like the Falcons could come out and just kind of slap us across the face with our predictions, but also they could also lose by 30,000 points. So, it's one of those situations where do you go there? But I think at this point, with the situation of their offense as a whole, it's Cordell Patterson or die, and I think they're dying this week.
I don't know.
They're
about
dying.
That.
They're dying a grisly death this week.
And
just as someone who has Cordell Patterson and TB12, I'm loving this week personally because they're both going to go for a bajillion points. But like Cordell Patterson also doesn't like to lose, so he could pop off.
So much so he's playing safety this week.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like, no, he's gonna have he might have 4 touchdowns, and I'd love that because he'd have like 1,000 points in my league. But
yeah, in this
yeah, we need this.
Hold on. You know what? We have to take a little bit of a sidebar here because DJ, please explain to Sara and the world actually right now about your league. Give us a brief synopsis of it before we get into the exciting matchup of Colts and Texans.
I think I might play in what would be the Marvel universe of fantasy sports. Like this fantasy football league is crazy. Quarterbacks normally go for between 50 to 90 points a week. Defenses are like 150. Kickers are normally like 10 to 18. Receivers are in the 30s to 40s. Running backs are normally 40 to 60. Like it's total PPR. Everything is pretty much PPR. Like the more yards and attempts you have, the better. The more completions, the better. You get bonuses for everything you do.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's pretty much just about yards and touchdowns.
I wonder how I would do in my league that I'm currently winless if I played that way. Maybe my fate would be different.
I think it would be.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't be, hoping to lose the rest of the year just to say I lost the entire year.
I remember we were in a Thursday night football call and DJ was running down the list of everything that the defenses do. It is the most insane league I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Yeah, solo tackles are 2 points, assisted tackles are a point, sacks plus sack yards.
See, that seems fun though.
Everything special teams.
It sounds like a blast.
Is defense. Oh, our leagues are 400, 500, 600 points every week. Like,
that's awesome.
It's bananas. And then there's we have this median score, so like they take obviously like the average of everyone who's in the league. And if you are below that, you get an extra loss. And if you're above that, you get an extra win. So every week is a 2-game week.
Wow. I need to look into this for next year.
Yeah. Hashtag not a sponsor, but Sleeper. They allow you to go in and
that makes sense then.
You can go in and set your settings to whatever you want for whatever sport you're going to do. So Sleeper's nice, but not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor yet. At least yet in here. And I think we might have to convert that scoring system into some sort of underground league because I need to be a part of that just so I can tell people and see the look on their face when I tell them that, oh yeah, I put up 600 points this week in fantasy, and there's like the
and you
whole
still
demeanor.
Lost.
And I lost.
Yeah, that's the kicker. When you're looking at your team, and Tom Brady goes for 100 points, and Cordell Patterson goes for 45, and Mike Williams goes for 50, and you put up like 515 points, but then you lose. You're like, what is going on?
That is one giant mind fuck. I want to be a part of that. But we have to be part of this right now. Colts Texans. Who wants to be a part of that matchup with their roster lineups? Who? We got a hand up.
As someone who doesn't have anyone on either of these teams, smash RB1 for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm against Jonathan Taylor in one of my leagues this week, so I'm praying that he doesn't go for 50 because
you just got to set your best lineup possible.
I try that and it doesn't work.
You got to try your best.
winless.
Can we get a hashtag pray for Sara in the chat, please?
Yeah, please.
Literally.
Pray. Yeah. And this is a league that I'm 5-7. So, this is not the one that I'm hoping to lose out.
This is a pivotal week too. This is like could be the difference between making playoffs and being in that bottom bracket.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm embracing the suck, as we said. I'm embracing it because that's my life right now. So
that's the motto of this show at this
embrace
point.
The suck.
Embrace the suck. And God, who has embraced the suck more than the Houston Texans? They suck.
Yes.
And I am pretty sure I'd only start one person on that team this week, and it's Brandon Cooks.
Yep. He's the only one I have. And I don't have him starting yet, but I have to look at my teams. But yeah, he's the only one I would play. On the Texans, anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
I wasn't blessed to get Jonathan Taylor. So.
Not all of us were.
I'm not happy. I'm really happy about it, as you can tell.
I was.
And we got, there it is. Just the unbelievable.
I mean, I didn't get him, but I hit running back gold. I mean, James Robinson, James Conner, Cordell Patterson, Antonio Gibson, Alvin Kamara. Between drafting and waiver wires. Oh, I also picked up Chuba Hubbard today. So
Chuba Hubbard.
I'm
gets
stacked
knocked
on
down
running backs.
And gets back up again. That's how we do it. Michael Pittman in this one, to me, seems like he's going to stand out along with Wentz. And now I feel like this is an appropriate time to bring this up because of they are on HBO. Their Hard Knocks series has made me fall in love with the Colts so much more than I already did. What are you talking about? Excuse you. They have so many likable people. You have Carson Wentz, who his family I want to be a part of at this point. You have Darius Leonard, who is a maniac on the field, but like a Care Bear when it comes to anything off it. And then how can you not love Frank Reich and everyone else, the behind the scenes stuff? And the way they talk about Jonathan Taylor too. I mean, when you have NFL general managers, executives, and scouts and all that saying the same things that we are about Jonathan Taylor, that's how you know the guy's special. And that's how insane of a season he's having so far, where like all I want to do is just vote for Jonathan Taylor MVP, and I predicted 3 people, not Jonathan Taylor, to win it. So like that's where we're at.
I've hated the Colts my whole life.
Well,
so there's no love there.
I wonder why.
Yeah, there's no
I wonder
love
why.
There. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of reasons, but
the main reason they didn't cause Deflategate, it was the other fault. It was the Baltimore people. So that's all we're gonna talk about there. Speaking of don't you put your head down? Don't give that look to me.
Are you really gonna make me go into my spill right now about why?
No, we can save that for the stream. We can go in to that in the stream because there's gonna be way more time for that. Okay. And
they are cheaters, though.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, you left me speechless.
It starts at the top. That's all I'm gonna say. It starts.
Eagles and Jets. Does that leave you with anything to say about that game? As the Jets are underdogs at 7 points. I mean, if there was a week that the Eagles prove that they are worthy of a playoff spot, it's this week against the Jets. They need to win this game.
They're gonna find a way to screw it up. It's the Eagles. They're going to find a way to screw it up. I would agree. What is the spread in this game?
I would agree with Steve.
7? I'm going to tell you right now, take the Jets. I feel like this is going to be the end of the Eagles season right here. I'm so far off the bandwagon after all you had to do, we had the easiest schedule left. All you have to do is play like a normal team against the Giants, and you win. What do? Absolutely nothing.
I like that you almost said you need to play like a normal human. I like that.
Yes, thank you for catching that.
Yeah, just play like a normal human against the Giants.
It is the same thing, though. It's just,
yes.
It's just...
So, I would agree if they were starting Mike White. I just have no confidence in Zach Wilson.
Oh, are they playing? Is Zach Wilson playing?
Zach Wilson will be starting this weekend.
That is so tragic. So tragic.
He is having a rough rookie year.
As of right now, he's starting. He logged full practice on Friday, so if he logs full practice today, Wednesday. He logs full practice today, and tomorrow he'll play Sunday. So,
well, aren't the Jets just lucky?
Can we just talk about how awful that interception was that he threw last week? That was one of the worst interceptions I've seen, and I played a hell of a lot of Madden and done way worse. Like the guy was even looking. He threw it at the back of his helmet, and like I don't know. It literally left me.
Yeah, but here's the question though: is that more on the quarterback or is that on the receiver not turning around?
Oh, quarterback. If it was another play where he was in the pocket and he was looking downfield and it was a designed play, then yeah, I'm blaming all on Ty Johnson or whoever it was. But this dude was in the process of figuring out if he should scramble, go down for a sack, or get rid of it, and he couldn't decide between scramble and get rid of it, and just kind of did a little like floater, and it didn't go in. It went into the other team's hands. I just don't get it. I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. And apparently the Eagles are going to eagle. I don't know what shitstorm's going to appear this week. I don't know. I really don't. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I want to
believe right now, but I feel like this is going to be one of them games where Sirianni is just like, I don't know how to head coach. Here, Jets, take a free W.
This will be 1 week I'll root for the Eagles.
There we go.
Okay, I've done it a couple times this year, but I don't want to be reminded that I've done it a couple times. But this
hurts
is 1 week.
Too much?
Yeah, it hurts. It pains me.
There you go. We get punny here.
Remember, being the Eagles fan that I am, we always have 41-33.
That's fine because we have 7 reasons or 6.
I don't care.
Can't count those. What was I gonna say? I would only start Devonta Smith and Hurts. I think this is a huge bounce back week for Hurts, if anything. And if it's not, Steve, then you might be onto something. But I truly do believe that Jalen Hurts will go back because right now he's QB2 in all fantasy, which you wouldn't know unless you looked up. And he didn't play like it last week, but he is probably one of the most. I would say one of the more valuable options.
Not QB2 in my league. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, all right, you're on another timeline than all right, if we're going
Marvel League.
So we're not counting. Who's your number 1 quarterback? Like Trevor Siemian? No, not Trevor Siemian. It would be like Jameis actually could have a shot. I was saying random. I don't know why.
TB12.
I saw a meme. Oh, it's the GOAT himself. All right.
And followed up behind Josh Allen. I wouldn't necessarily call him the GOAT, but
slingshot.
You know how I feel about TB12. He just happens to be on my fantasy team this year. So
when he's on your team, you benefit. That's what happens.
That's
what happens.
But
sometimes it happens.
Next year,
we are.
We all know who my favorite quarterback is of all time.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let's just go to that game. Let's talk Packers now. Are they playing this week? Yeah.
No, they're on a bye.
No, bye.
They're on a bye.
They're on a bye, which is depressing because I have.
I don't know.
In one league, I have Aaron Rodgers, AJ Dillon, and Devontae Adams.
I have Rodgers, Jones, and Dillon. So that was rough.
Oh, I had Dillon. That's right. Yeah.
I don't have a single Packers player.
I shouldn't have a Packers player, but I do. And I have Rodgers of all of them.
I mean, that's the smartest one to go with. Him and Tay are like the go-tos.
They are.
Yeah.
Because, he's going to pass it to Tay. And Tay's going to get open. Like
that's
or he's going to pass to Alan Lazard.
How many times has he done that this year?
Not enough, DJ. Not enough is the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers Bengals.
Ask Alan Lazard what his role is on the Packers.
He's not going to give a good answer. I'll tell you that.
He's a tight end. he's a blocker. He comes in, does nice blocks, and then he leaves. But he understands his role. Catches 2-3 balls a game. That's fine.
He does his job. That's all he does. Does his job. Chargers Bengals.
Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
Jair Alexander.
Chargers Bengals would be a gross Super Bowl. Yeah, you're right. No,
it wouldn't be possible, Pat.
Thank you. Jair Alexander
That's the joke, guys.
Was it?
And clip
That's
it.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk about the Chargers and Bengals very badly because I love Justin Herbert, and my prediction of this year that I thought that Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen were going to be the Rodgers and Adams of 2020. They would. What do you mean? Don't shake your head like that. That is a decent prediction.
It's also 2021.
For one, and for two, nobody can be Rodgers and Tay when they are Rodgers and Tay. They would be. Anything.
No, they would be of how they were last year.
They're still doing that.
And Justin Herbert
this year. So like Rodgers and
so
Tay
Justin
are
Herbert and Keenan Allen. I thought they would be the number one. All duo.
I would agree if Mike Williams didn't start the first 5 games of the year on bunker status.
Yeah. And that's where I did my research to see if I was even close to this prediction. And Mike Williams and Justin Herbert are the 8th best quarterback wide receiver duo in the league. Number one still goes to Rodgers and Adams, though. But the good thing is, though, with that,
bing bong.
Keenan Allen, who just did a bing bong. Rodgers and Adams killing it as usual, but also Herbert and Keenan Allen have been really good this year. And Keenan and Mike Williams, throw him into that. Dude, the Chargers, you could start anyone on that team at this point in your fantasy roster, and I think you'd be pretty good.
Don't start Mike Williams.
I would start Mike Williams.
No,
I'm not.
He's had one good game. He's had one good game in the last 5 or 6. Mike Williams is on a very bad downward trail, and he doesn't get the targets he doesn't get the targets he used to get because Keenan Allen gets them all. Mike Williams is
my predictions coming.
He's a flex if you need it, but I would not play him at all if you can afford it. I have him and I'm not playing him.
Same.
I don't have him, so I'm useless in this conversation.
So you're not playing him either.
Yes, exactly.
So you're not. I would go with Mike Williams as a flex. If you have to decide between different receivers, like say Tyler Boyd or Mike Williams, I would lean more towards Mike Williams in that case. But other than that, flex option is pretty safe for him. And then Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I mean, we have two duos in this game that could just light up the scoreboard, and the over is 50.5. I would definitely take that.
This game is sneakily become one of the most interesting of the season, I feel like. Because the Bengals were not supposed to be they really weren't supposed to be where they are right now, I feel like. Especially because Joe Burrow was coming off the ACL tear. And the Chargers are just middle. Both teams are either middling or I think they're both second in their division. I'm probably wrong here, but I'm not.
No, they're second. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's become really interesting for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Where's this game at? Is it in Cincy?
It's in Cincinnati.
This game reminds me of the Iowa State, Oklahoma State Big 12 matchup. They're the exact same team. Really high-powered offenses that have really good receivers with a nice quarterback and good running backs that normally cap off drives or will start a drive with a nice run that sets things up. But their defenses are not that good. This might be a 30 to 40 something game for both sides. It's going to be a high score. I would hit the over on the score for sure. This one's going to go over and score. Offense is going to be there, but defense isn't. I couldn't pick a winner because it's one of those Big 12 games that's just going to be high scoring and whoever gets the last punch wins. But that's going to be it might be the most exciting game of the year.
All right. I could. Oh, this one's not though. Giants, Dolphins. Giants head down to Miami. This one is yuck. Dolphins are favored though with 4 points. If there was a week to start Tua as a streaming option, I would.
I'd be starting Jalen Waddle this week if I were.
That was there you go. That was the next.
Absolutely.
Gesicki.
And isn't Daniel Jones is dealing with a neck injury or something too? So that
Mike Lennon.
Yeah.
Glennon. Jesus.
I cannot wait for the Mike Lennon show because I got to witness that at Patriots training camp, and holy shit, he's not like watching players live or practice and play live in a game is completely different, as we all know. So the fact that I got to watch him just practice was entertaining itself. He's not that bad of a quarterback, in my opinion, to be starting for the Giants and give them a chance to win. If there was a game to win in a scenario like that, I think that Glennon could do it. The issue comes with the Dolphins and can they put up points against this Giants defense that apparently is the biggest hot or cold if they're, good or not.
Yeah. Well, I love why do you never mind. I'm not even gonna ask why you say Glennon.
It's Hard Knocks.
I'm just
they're on Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah, see, I haven't watched that before, so I
Hard
miss out
Knocks
on all that.
Oh,
I don't have what is it on HBO? I don't have HBO. So.
Yeah, I'm using someone else's. So.
Oh, whoa!
We do it. It's a family member.
That out the open, yeah.
Well, it's family. It's family. I'm not. If if they're tuning into this, then we're even. All right, that's all I got.
Wait, how does that make you guys even?
Moving on to the next game at hand, we got the football team from Washington, D.C. Travels to Sin City.
Before you move on too far, I'd start Gesicki at tight end if you have him.
I would, yeah.
Last time I checked,
basically it's a week to start the Dolphins. Players.
Yeah, the Giants don't really have a good defense overall. Their linebackers really aren't good, so the seams, linebackers and safeties aren't great, so seams should be open for tight end.
No, yeah.
And finally,
he's the only.
I know he's been subpar the last few games, so I kind of need him to kick it into gear this week.
Yes,
I think he will. I think we got it.
Tight ends are so hard to find, though, that are like actually productive.
Yeah,
consistently anyway.
And they change every year. Like this year, like Kyle Pitts is the top tight end, but then like last year was Darren Waller. It's like, but like the only like surefire tight ends in the league are Mark Andrews and George Kittle and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I was like, if you don't get one of those, you're kind of screwed. You just are like, okay, well, roll the dice and pick one.
Yeah,
because that's what it's going to be every week anyway.
Yeah,
basically. You talked about excuse me. You mentioned Waller already. He's not going to play, or very doubtful to play on Sunday. My boy Foster Moreau is another tight end that I'm starting. I don't care whatever anyone else says. When I see that man play, Derek Carr likes to target him.
I like to look at him.
I mean, don't we all? He's on All Team Handsome.
Yeah, he's a babe.
Gronk, Jimmy G, we got a line up there.
I don't.
Foster.
Okay.
What?
Maybe.
What?
I mean, Jimmy G is in a league.
Jimmy G's on All Team Handsome.
He is, but I'm saying I don't know if Forrest is with them. I mean, I agree with Gronk, but most don't. So
okay.
Well, he's got that Triple H nose.
Gronk's a meathead, man.
Look at a meathead who's sculpted from a Greek god. Like, look at the dude.
Oh my god.
That's my contribution to this conversation. You're welcome.
I love that. That's what we do. That's what we do here. Now, even he might be skeptical for All Team Handsome, then whatever. But is he also skeptical for your lineup this week? I'm starting him. Not skeptical to me. I feel like it's you guys are the one who's skeptical.
Yeah. Well, just because you haven't seen a whole lot from him this year. Obviously, he hasn't been given a lot of opportunities, but I would be iffy. I mean, if you need a tight end, then sure. Obviously, he's going to be getting the passes that Waller would be getting possibly, but I still am not sure that he's like a surefire thing. Like, I don't know that I would start him. If you have another choice, like if Gesicki is still available, go for that. I think there might be some better options, but if you're desperate, sure.
Pat Freiermuth or Foster Moreau?
Freiermuth. He gets more looks in the red zone, but it's also like Moreau just is fourth on the target, not potential target list this week. I mean, Hunter Renfrow is definitely going to be first.
Mm-hmm.
I have him in starting. I have him in my start. Absolutely.
Brian Edwards, Deshaun Jackson, who got an 80-yard touchdown last week. Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake out of the backfield are probably going to be looks before he is. So it's like he's got a lot of
Kenyon Drake,
options to compete with. Whereas Pat Freiermuth, it's like he might get one look throughout the drive, but as soon as they go to the red zone, they're going to look once at Deontay Johnson, hand it off to Najee Harris. If neither one of those work, they're going to Pat Freiermuth.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, that's really what they have to do at that point. So in this one, I am starting Derek Carr. Derek Carr is playing a Washington team that's allowed the most yards, I'm pretty sure, or second most yards to fantasy quarterbacks this year. And they're not the same defense that they were last year either. And even though their performance on Monday night against the Seahawks, still I would not trust them enough to bench Carr over someone like maybe Mac Jones this week or someone else. Or trying to think about Carr. No, he's playing the Texans. Joe Burrow. I would start Derek Carr over Joe Burrow this week for sure. And maybe for Washington on the other side, I think I would only start Terry McLaurin. My guy, Scary Terry.
It's a shame Terry McLaurin.
What about Gibson?
Yeah,
no.
A Gib is definitely a start this week. Are you crazy?
Nope. I would start J.D. McKissick over A Gib.
He's got a concussion.
McKissick is out.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah, he's out.
All right. Well,
you ain't see his neck get crunched. Man was like that, dog.
Ugh.
He died.
It didn't come up on the screen.
He's dead.
It didn't come up on the 3 screens here that I have, so I haven't. But I don't know. The Washington team, other than Terry McLaurin, is kind of a question mark to me. But
some smart guy picked them to go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know who that was.
Ooh.
For those wondering on the podcast, that was me. I said my Super Bowl would be Bills Redskins because I was a big believer in the Redskins defense. That didn't work out very well. Now did it?
Before you go too far, if you have Antonio Gibson in PPR leagues, I'd start him. I would start him. He's averaging 24 carries, so like he's gonna get carries, he's gonna get yards, he's gonna get looks now in the pass offense now because McKissick isn't gonna play.
He's not gonna play.
Gibson's a must start if you have him. RB1.
I do. I got him on waivers. Is that insane?
That's a steal.
I was like, oh yeah, I know. I saw him and I was like, I'm taking you.
I got Cordell Patterson on waivers when I got him.
Bro, that's like getting a jersey at Marshalls. That's like hot commodity. What? What is that face for?
I don't think authentic jerseys are at Marshalls.
I beg to differ. I have an AB Steelers. Looks pretty good.
Really?
Looks pretty good. I swear. It was like
I don't think I've ever shopped at Marshalls.
I'm gonna need to never shopped at Marshalls.
My junior say-out jersey came from Marshalls.
I'm gonna bring
my family owned Marshalls, but we don't. So there's that.
On that bombshell, I'm out of here.
Hey, good luck.
I'll be back.
All right, buddy.
I'll be back on for the Thursday night stream.
So, okay,
good luck. Go check out Steve.
I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Hey, good luck to Steve. He is going to Twitch his matchup on the virtual tour. Go check him out at twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI. Jaguars Rams before I dig myself into a bigger hole of what I do and don't know. What I do know is that the Rams play the Jags this week and are favored by 13 points. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this game. You're starting James Robinson, maybe Trevor if like you really, really, really have to. And other than that, every single Rams player. Even I would start Van Jefferson over a lot of people, specifically.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I picked him up too. I have him on my bench right now, but yeah, no, I mean, I think that he's going to be a guy that Stafford's probably going to look to a little bit more because they have that more of the chemistry than, I mean, it's more of a comfort thing, I think, at this point. And Stafford's probably going to be looking for something like that because obviously look at how he's played the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Haven't they lost like 4 in a row now?
3 in a row. Yeah.
3 in a row. Yeah. So he's going to want to have some sort of bounce back game. This is that perfect opportunity. So go with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Rams D in PPR leagues is a move, not in I don't know about
Rams
DFS.
League in Marvel League, 500 points.
DFS, it might not be worth it. I don't know how many yards the Jags are going to get that might crack the scoreboard. Chances are pretty low in that terms. Their offense just isn't good enough. So DFS, it just might not work. But in PPR, if you get points for tackles and everything else your defense does, run it up. Rams D is going to have a great day.
Yeah, I am reluctant to start James Robinson. I have to at this point. I might not because I'll just start. Oh nope, I can't. All right, they're on. Oh, that's a game time decision because a guy like James Robinson, you would want to start obviously top running back, but then he plays a team like the Rams. Their defensive line has Aaron Donald and Von Miller coming off of it. I mean, that's just gonna scare anyone. So that's somewhere where you just have to play the matchup.
I'm gonna have to remind my sister because she has him. So
yes, definitely. Ravens Steelers. This game is going to be, I think, ugly. I think the Ravens are just going to mollywop them. The Steelers are 4.5-point underdogs. I don't know. The Ravens look hot right now, and I know I said the Pats are the number one team in the AFC. No, they're minus last week. I would say they still won.
I was gonna say they didn't look too hot last week. They still won. Lamar looked great throwing those 4 interceptions.
No, they didn't look too hot.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't hear. Like that was awful. That was just. I think that was just a shit game. No, last week he was awful. Like they were not a good team. But other than that, I mean, they're still the number one team in the AFC when it comes to record wise. But I still think they're number 2. But they're still good. Lamar is still producing at a high level. Rashad Bateman, I think, is someone you could start at the flex and even a wide receiver 2 option at this point. And then Mark Andrews has Elmer's glue to his hands, it seems like, because even when he's getting dragged down, like he's someone who's just getting targets on targets and catching them. So you're definitely benefiting off that.
We love it because I have him in one league.
And then we talked about Fryman. So
yes, yeah. So I'm hopeful that Lamar will have a bounce back game just in general because I like Lamar, and he lost me my game last week because he only got 9 points. The league. He lost it for me, and I was very mad at him about that. So I'm hopeful that he will have a better week. But he's very self-aware. He's another one that will call himself out and just say that he sucked, and he said that multiple times this week. So hopefully, now that he's at least a week removed from coming back from whatever illness he had, this will be a better week. Obviously, it's a divisional game, so that's a tougher matchup than they did, previously. Obviously, last week it was against the Browns. But the Steelers don't look too good either, and TJ Watt, as far as I've seen, is not back yet. So at least you have that threat away for the time being anyway. So it's going to be tough, though, but interesting if you can watch it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Definitely be interesting.
The worst thing I had in my draft was I decided to ask the league to go to a 2-quarterback system.
Oof.
And I got stuck picking up Big Ben as my second quarterback.
Oh. And so by stuck, you were – that's like a understatement.
Yeah, so I've been rocking that the year. It's worked out for the most part. Like I said, my league, it's all about getting passes off, getting them caught, getting yards. So he's scoring okay enough to help.
What about when he tripped over his own feet and fell on his face? Did you see that clip? That was a good time.
I lost 4 points for that or something.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
It should be minus 300.
I was not happy. But I mean, I've been starting Deontay Johnson as well. So I mean, that's his number one target. Big Ben is gonna throw him. It's the whole A-Rod Tay scenario. If you have him, if you have Deontay Johnson, you play him because he's gonna get targets, he's gonna get points, he's gonna get looks. That's just that's the part of their offense. Also, Najee Harris. I mean, with the struggles that Big Ben has had, Najee is going to get tons of carries like he had all year. So
no, I would definitely echo that. Niners Seahawks. This one's kind of gross of a game. Seahawks are 3-point underdogs at home. I'm not really starting anyone in this game except for DK and Tyler Lockett, and even that I'm kind of nervous about at this point. Is it anyone worth the start that's not a big name like that, or are you even sitting someone like a big name, like a DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett? Because
Well,
DK has
last week
not been
was
well. He's not been playing well.
that
He's like
was
wide receiver
weird.
70.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on last week, or he only got his first pass in the fourth quarter, I think. So I don't really know what was going on there. If he's in the doghouse, what's going on? Like, I mean, you don't go from him being like your number one target to basically acting as if he's not playing. It was kind of like one of those older games where Lockett was being favored a lot. So I feel like DK, it's kind of one of those ones that you can't necessarily sit, because I doubt we're going to have 2 weeks in a row where he's only getting targeted in the fourth quarter. But I would start him. I mean, I feel like it's hard to just eliminate him completely after, how many good games he's had.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just gotten into it with a lot of corners, and he talks a lot. So guys have kind of just stepped up at this point. They're like, you're not going to run all over me. Like, okay, you're big, you're fast, you're strong, but like, I also know how to play football. So like, he's drawing the best corner matchup now, and then like it's showing. It's not that he's not, getting open sometimes, but he's also not catching the ball every time now. And it's just the game is catching up to him. But I'd start Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ayuk because Samuel is doubtful for Sunday.
Yep.
I know that.
Yeah.
And Ayuk, I mean, he was the two. It was, it's kind of that same thing where George Kittle's getting everything, and then whoever the hot wide receiver is, well, there's no Deebo Samuel. Ayuk, yeah, he fumbled a week or two ago, but then didn't he scored last week and showed that he can be a productive, fantasy target this week. I would definitely start him. You know what? Start him in DFS lineups. I think that's a sneaky start in DFS for sure. He definitely is cheap enough too, where you can snag him and get a big name guy to like get a running back or wide receiver one or something. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs Broncos. Chiefs are favored at 9.5. Is that too much?
I think so. I think so.
I think it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, based off how both teams have been playing, I don't know that. I mean, at the beginning of the year, sure, that seems like right on par, but not at this point. No, it's divisional. The Chiefs haven't looked amazing. Broncos have been playing a lot better than expected. I think that's too much.
I think that might change before Sunday comes. I think that was based off of the the beginning of this week. Teddy Two Gloves questionable, and limited practices and such. He logged a full practice today, so if he's able to go full for the next 2 days, he'll be no injury designation, and that should probably lower to probably like 3 or 4.5.
Yeah, that
both teams are playing well enough.
Me. Yeah,
both teams are playing. I wouldn't. The Chiefs aren't the Chiefs. They're just a regular team at this point in my eyes, and the Broncos are more than just a regular team, outplaying what a lot of people thought they would do after Von Miller left. And the Broncos offense is good. They are a good offense. They have a lot of good pieces there, and they have enough on D to stop Pat Mahomes, because I feel like the answer sheet's out on him.
Well, and they play him twice a year. So, yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to have the answers, it's going to be one of them. So,
yeah, exactly. Is there anyone you're not starting in this one before we get into our favorite matchup of the week?
I mean, I only have Travis Kelce, I think, out of both teams. So, I don't know.
Tyreek Hill's a spot. Yeah. He's a spot start this year. It's kind of tough. Against a team like Baltimore or a healthy Bucks, Packers, like a good defensive passing team. I would sit Tyreek. Like when we played them, even though we didn't have Aaron Rodgers, Tyreek Hill didn't really get going until the fourth quarter. Like those teams that have a fast corner that can kind of just chase him around all day are going to do well and kind of hold him. But then Travis Kelce goes bomb. So that's kind of a two-way street there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Justin Simmons has actually been someone who's really stepped up since Von Miller's leaving, and I think has became one of the more elite D-backs in the league at this point. So I would go. My gut tells me, Chiefs take the win, but they definitely don't cover. I think it's gonna be a one-possession game, if anything. Bills, Pats to end the preview before we get into the 2-minute drill this week. They're gonna do it. Pat's gonna win. That's my feeling. I think it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna bet against them. I'm not gonna overly predict them in a way, but something just in the air tells me that this Bills team, they're struggling and they're not going to get it together against the Patriots because Bill Belichick has probably had this game circled on his calendar for a long time at this point, and it probably has some master plan to limit Josh Allen's, not only time on the field, but ability to throw the ball and hit his receivers.
I definitely feel more comfortable with the Patriots defense going into this game. I think that they can get to Josh Allen. I'm a little worried about the run defense just based off of what we saw last week. I'm not too thrilled on how that went down. But I mean, they still won even though they allowed 270 rushing yards. So I think it's going to be an interesting test for Mac Jones too, because it's going to be really crappy weather against their toughest divisional opponent in Buffalo in December. So I don't feel good either way. But that's how I am. Like I said, even when they play the Jets, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to win. The Jets could win.
You never know. Because you never know with this.
I mean, it makes me nervous that the first time they're playing Buffalo is in December. Like, I don't like that. But I think that based off of how the Patriots have been playing in the last handful of games, it seems like this is a team that could beat them in Buffalo at this point. Like if you asked, obviously when they were 2-4, if they had to play Buffalo then, I would say absolutely not.
Yeah,
but if they lose this game, it's one of those things too that I feel like it's like, yeah, it sucks, but we play them again in New England and we won 6 straight. So,
with a rookie, but
yeah, with Mac Jones. So, and they've already won more games than they did last year for everyone who hates Cam. So, yeah.
We like wins here in New England.
Yeah, we do.
Sorry, Cam, but we like to win.
Well, okay, but we also like Cam, but that's okay.
We do like Cam. What are we thinking?
I like Cam.
I don't understand why he had to be cut and why he couldn't have just been backup.
Neither do I.
Obviously, Jared Stidham is better than he is. But
those are much I don't have the answers to.
I know no one does. Not even Bill. But this week, I have the Bills, but I would not be surprised to see the Patriots upset. Because if that defense does show the secondary, I shouldn't say that defense, the secondary, if they show up again, it could be a tough day because the Bills have no running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Breida,
who hasn't played well and has been injured consistently this year. Devin Singletary, who's just not good. And Zach Moss, who basically doesn't get reps now. So it's like...
No. Yeah, they healthy scratched him last week. So
yeah, so it's like they don't have running backs. So if they can't pass the ball, like even if you're running, defense gives up 150 yards, you'll probably still win the game. Like it's kind of that point where it's really more reliant on if Josh Allen gets going early, it's going to be a long day for you guys. But if you guys are able to kind of get to him quick, then I wouldn't be surprised to see the Patriots pull out like a one score victory.
Yeah.
I am interested to see how JC Jackson pairs up with Stephon Diggs, because in the past he's been blown up by Diggs. Obviously he's going to be on Diggs the entire game, I would assume, but you can't let him get going either. And he's had a lot of games this year where Diggs was not really doing anything for quite a bit of the beginning of the game. It was like a second half thing where Diggs was coming alive. So hopefully they can figure that out. We've seen obviously what JC has done with that before, but he's playing a lot better than what we've seen. Definitely cornerback 1 status that I was not expecting coming into this season. But yeah, and if they do get those turnovers, we need them to score, because we had red zone issues last week where we kept taking field goals instead of getting into the end zone. And I don't want that to repeat against, obviously, Buffalo.
And you can't have that happen against Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, it's
they're
the same
their team that's not going to let you do it.
Yeah, and these were the issues that they had at the beginning of the season where they were able to make it down the field, but they were having to settle for 50-yard field goals. And like you said, you're not going to win against Buffalo in Buffalo by taking 3. It's just not going to happen. So
no, yeah, I totally agree. Definitely there. So that's the week of games ahead that we are all so excited to get down, make our predictions. Hopefully they come true. And then let's wrap up the show now with 2-minute drill quickly with our safety and going the distance long shot picks of the week for DJ, who is new here. Long shot, just any player or team or whatever, something to happen this week that isn't in favor to happen, just a crazy thing to happen. And then obviously what is the bet, player, or whatever that you are telling everyone to smash and keep getting after this week. So we'll start with DJ, our guest here.
The one possible thing that would just blow the world up, honestly, that could happen, but I don't really see happening this week. Lions winning their first game of the year against Minnesota. I could absolutely see that happening this week. Minnesota's good, but they trip up a lot. They're 5-6 this year for that reason. Like, they've been in games where they should have won, but they've had 3-4 mental mistakes in a row that cost them the game. Like, that could very much happen once again this week against the Lions, or vice versa. So that's like my most toss-up game of the week. Is I don't know who's going to win it. I really could care less because we already know who won the NFC North. But yeah, I could see the Lions coming out and winning that thing.
That must be a nice feeling. I miss that,
I miss that feeling.
Just knowing you already won your division.
Yeah. That's what it's right around this time actually is when it hit. It's like, we're going into the holiday season.
Yeah.
Where start planning your Super Bowl parties. What jersey are you wearing? It's like, nope. Who knows if they're gonna even win the goddamn division. So yeah.
No. Right now we're trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's with that roster.
Trying to get that one seed. That's what we're trying for now.
Being the word. Trying.
Yeah.
Hey, all you gotta do is try. There we go. There it is.
I mean, really, if we want to be honest, it's the front office's fault.
It is.
Once again, OBJ could have easily been in green and yellow, and we could have been you could have just handed us the Lombardi right there when he signed, like 100%. But now he's in LA, and they might get it themselves.
It was no, they're not. Odell made a mistake. Even I can admit that. He shouldn't have gone to LA.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's going to go for the money. And I mean, who doesn't want to live in LA?
Well, and that's what people think that is why he chose LA, was basically just because he wanted to live in LA. It wasn't even like you necessarily had this like big feeling that the Rams were going to go all the way. It was like, no, I want to be in LA. And like my brother Vaughn is there. Like we were already chatting last week when he signed there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's living his best life with his purple hair, whatever.
Yeah.
Who's your safety now? Safety pick.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor for whatever bets are out there. Every single bet involving Jonathan Taylor, you'd slam it. Do the same game parlay for him to pop off for touchdowns, for yards, and for the Colts to win. Just lock it in, get that money. JT for the win.
Well, he took mine, so I'm just gonna pick other ones. I'm gonna go with the Broncos beating the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Nice.
Is my it's like a long shot, but I feel like it's not really a long shot necessarily, but I think most people wouldn't expect that to happen, so that's what I'm going with. And who am I getting? Tom Brady. He's my obvious star.
We're gonna highlight him. I'm gonna highlight
TB12. You may not have heard of him before. He's kind of going under the radar this year. He's not really having that great of a season, so start him if you got him. You
got it. Yeah. I am going with my long shot. I'm gonna just take the Lions one because I really think it's this week. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Every week you do it, manifest it.
I love pain apparently. So I am gonna go with my safety pick, something even better than that. I'm gonna go Deontay Johnson has 12 targets because that man, I think I've wrote or done my research every Monday or whatnot, and every time I see a stat sheet, he's got at least double-digit targets. I think he easily has it this week against the Ravens. And if there's any more, if it's someone that you need to play in DFS and don't want to, overload your wide receivers and running backs and kind of save up for a nice flex spot, Deontay Johnson's definitely someone you can get. So
can I ask my question too?
Yes, and then let's go to your question to end the show.
Do I start Mark Ingram in my flex spot?
Who are the other options?
As if I have any. Let me see. I have to check. I don't know. Is it this league? Yes. So
like my gut says yeah. Okay, yeah.
Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, or if I had to, but I don't want to, Dawson Knox.
I would go. I said to sit Dawson Knox because the Patriots have allowed the tied for like the least amount of touchdowns.
He's automatically on the bench because he's playing the Patriots. I even switched out my kicker because I had the Buffalo kicker, so he's out this week.
Tyler Bass.
Don't need any of that bad juju, okay? We got someone else. So I don't. Yeah, so I have Ingram in because obviously Kamara was in, and then he was.
I would start Gallup over Ingram.
You think?
Hey, you know what's funny? No, don't start Gallup. He's going back to wide receiver 3 this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cooper's in, and they said he's gonna have limited playing time, and then CeeDee Lamb is back from concussion. So that's why I was like,
I'm more worried about the Cowboys front 7 getting after the just awful.
So I should just switch him out and look for a different option, is what we're saying.
I'd run Mark Ingram.
I'd run, Mark Ingram or Michael Gallup or
because they're gonna have to run quite a bit to kind of just to set up the play action for their pass game to work. That's what's gonna get their pass game going. Because the Dallas secondary is actually pretty good this year.
Because the top running back available for me is Sexy Rexy, so that'll tell you how many of these guys are gone. So Sexy Rexy is Rex Burkhead.
Rex Burkhead.
I already knew.
Okay.
There we go.
Just for those who didn't know.
Favorite nicknames.
Yeah, so he's the top running back available, so that's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to find someone else, but I will keep him in my flex spot. That is fine.
We keep him in our hearts too. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Wow. I know. I love
him. I would. Yeah, Ingram's not bad. I think he'll do well. I will still say.
All right, I'm trusting you guys, and if you do me wrong, you won't hear about it. All right. I won't care.
Thank you guys for tuning into this edition of 4th and Goal. Shout out to DJ for coming by. And now that he's appeared on, he now has the open door policy. Anytime we have a first time guest on, they are more than welcome to come back whenever they want. That's the rules here. I don't follow them. I just enforce them. Go follow us on Twitter if you haven't already at 4th and Goal USP. We got a lot of fun stuff in the works. Got a new crew that you see 2 of them now. We got a whole bunch more working behind the scenes, killing it as well. Go follow all of us on Twitter at Pat_Pitts, at SMarshXO. DJ, you don't have yours there, so I can't read it like that. It's
SCS_next great. I'll
there you go
for you next time.
There you go. All right, appreciate that. And go follow 4th and Goal on Instagram. New Instagram account is as simple as we could possibly make it at 4AGUSP. Just a couple letters and a number, easy for you to go search and follow at this moment. And then go follow our boys down in Philadelphia, Underground Sports Philadelphia, the network that allows us to talk about whatever we want, whenever we want, and the network that gave us Outside the Box, DJ's podcast at OTB Pod on Twitter. NLL coming to the ESPN. It's going to be massive. I'm going to be watching, and it's on tomorrow?
It starts tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, guess what my Friday night plans are. And, I mean, as much as you can get, go follow our boys now to Pickup at Pickup HQ. There are going to be some NLL bets. There's going to be some NFL bets. And there's going to be a lot more bets as well. All you got to do is go to playpickup.com and then follow them on Twitter at Pickup HQ to know when those props go live. We'll be back Sunday or Monday. We don't know. We don't know yet. We'll be back, but we will be back. Sunday? Good. Yes. Confirmed. Sunday. I love it. To give you our recaps. We'll go live. And then obviously we got the waiver coming out Tuesday. So we got a lot coming. We got a lot in store, and I hope you guys are ready for it. God bless. Thank you all. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We'll see you Sunday.